And in this video, I have several quick and easy A7 cards to show you. So I have already put the liner piece in this card, and I included a liner so that if you wanted to use a patterned paper, you can still have a spot for writing on the inside. You have two pieces. One's bigger and acts as your border. I inked mine mostly for the photos so that that white edge doesn't bleed into my background. And this lines directly up with the edge of the card, with the edge. And just like with all of your cards, you just want to be mindful not to use too much glue, because you don't want your card buckling. So that goes on there. And then we have our pieces for our snowman. I'm just going to lay them out here so you can see them. Unlike a lot of my cards, these, because the eyes are big enough, you do have eyes to place. So you need to just find a face that you like. And I wanted to look at this because I think I'm going to pop the hat. So this just goes side to side. I'm going to find my foam squares here. I get these at the Dollar Tree, which is now $1.25. Two more. Okay. I am putting this together before I put it on the card. For me, I feel like it's easier. It doesn't matter which way you do it, but I like to be able to hold the card, to hold the pieces I'm working on in my hand so I can get them lined up well. And then before I glue his face on, I'm gonna put his scarf on. And this lines up right here where you have the sides that go in to form his head. You just want to put this right there, just like that. And I'm going to use some pop dots on his scarf. I have two different sizes. Maybe one more. You just want to be careful that your foam tape, if you use it, is not hanging over the edge, because then you'll get things starting to stick to your card. Oh, and before I put that on, I guess I better do his buttons. So I want to place these first. Then glue them down. I guess my machine needs some calibrating because it does not cut circles anymore. Whoops. Forgot his eyes weren't on. Okay, since I have this piece ready, I'm going to go ahead and pop that on. Now take a look at his face. I think I'll pop the nose up again. I did that on my snowman gift box. If you're thinking again, there we go. I think he'd look cute with a patterned scarf. And the color combinations really are endless. There we are. He's cute. And then we're just going to glue him in place. So very quick and simple card. Again, it's the A7, so it fits in that A7 envelope. The card itself is 5x7. You just want to kind of center that on there. There we go. There's one other snowman. Let's put him there. Let's bring the snowman in. This one I don't have the inside glued on yet. So you just want to try to get an even border all the way around. Push that down into place. There we go. Then I'm just going to flip it over. And again, I've already inked the border of this, mostly for the purpose of my photos. And this one, just like the other one, is just going to line right up with the edge. And now we'll build our snowman. And I think that I want to ink around her her fur lining here, just lightly. Doesn't need a whole lot, so I'm just using what ink is already on the pad. And I think I'm going to do the same thing with the pom-pom. There is no circle to put on it. It's just going to be white like your snowman. So for this one, I think I'm going to use my foam tape on the brim. Yes, and I think also on this piece. So those two are prepped. Then we put on the buttons. I think I'm only going to use 2 of them. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this in place, because that will help me determine how I want to do her face. There we are. And now let's look at her face. That looks good. Just don't, I've got way too much glue on there, even though they're just dots, because you don't want it oozing all over the place, making your card shiny where it shouldn't be shiny. There's just a little fuzz on that. My black paper sometimes makes a fuzzy end when it cuts. There we go. Okay. And let's pop the nose up again. Very sweet. These are perfect if you just have to throw a card together real fast. They look good with even a solid base. You don't have to stress over finding a pattern. Just make the base a solid color. You have this liner so you can do a dark color if you want. And you even have a liner for the inside so you can still write. And there she is. So we've already finished 2. I also made the flamingo into a simpler card. I'm filming. And the inside's a little bit busier than I like to have. But I've got the liner. Checking where my score line is because I really can't see it because the paper's kind of busy on the inside. There we go. And you could put it on both sides if you wanted to cover up, you know, whatever pattern you had on the inside. There we are. Now let's set this aside while we put the flamingo together. So we have several pieces here, and I'm gonna ink this hat with the pink and the little pom-pom on the end of the Santa hat. Okay. So, let's see. I think I'll just start with her face. Kind of wishing I would have popped that hat up with some foam tape, but I will do the brim. And the pom-pom. Get that in the center. Okay, there we go. There's this little belly. I think I'm gonna pop up the wings. You just want to be careful not to add too much bulk. You don't want to like double up the layers, take it double as thick, because then your card's going to get too thick. It's going to cost you more to mail it. But I think you're safe with one. Try and get this lined up straight with one layer of dimension, because it really doesn't add that much weight, and it's not adding too much bulk, too much thickness. See the fuzz pieces on this one too, so let me just take a second, try to get that off. There we go. Make sure this one is clean. And my cat is meowing at me. I think he got trapped in my son's room because he opened the door a minute ago when I said I'm filming. So he closed his door and went around, but I think the cat had gone in there and now he's stuck. But he has to wait just a few minutes because we don't have very much longer to finish this video. But he's gonna get louder. Elvis. He's not trapped, he's out. He's complaining. So my 12-year-old daughter is his favorite person. And she is doing the Nutcracker. This is Nutcracker season, so I'm trying to. That's why I'm doing so many videos today. I'm doing a lot, like 12. Because the week after Thanksgiving is show week, and we will be completely immersed in Nutcracker. And that is all she and I will be doing for 10 days. So showtime is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of December. Here we go. And then you just want to just eyeball this, try to get your border pretty even. And there she is. She's an adorable little card. Quick and simple. If you are intimidated by the pop-up cards, but you liked the flamingo, you still have an option for putting her together. And then I have this penguin. So I am going to put my seam on the outside of my card. I don't have a specific liner for this one, but if you wanted to cut this piece in white, you could put that on the inside if you use a darker color. And that should work for you. So since and that's just going to be the back of my card, like that. Okay. Now for my penguin. Let's do some blue. I'm still just using the same, because I don't want a whole lot of ink, so I'm just using the same ink pad. I didn't re-ink it at all. I really loaded it up good when I did those borders. That's why it's still some little bit juicy. I think I'll just go ahead and do this blue on here. And just right around there. Okay. So with the penguin, you want to start with the face piece, because it looks like the hat is a little bit over it. And it lines up right along the curve there. So just don't do what I just did and put a blotch of glue on your penguin. I didn't get that fuzzy out of that one. Must be time for either a new mat or a new blade for me. Grab my scissors. I think I have them out. So this is kind of an oval. You just kind of want to turn it on its side there. And I think the hat I'm going to glue down flat, and the brim and the pom-pom I'm going to pop. definitely the pom-pom. I need to look to see where I'm going to put the snowflake, because I would also like to pop the snowflake. I might just put it like right there. So I am going to use some dimension on this brim. And she just has a little petite nose here. There we go. So I think for the snowflake, I'm going to use a round foam. Looks like if I put it on this, I should be okay. I think I want to just snip that real quick. I think I definitely need a new blade. There. Just put her right in the center. So there they are. There's 4 cards. I don't know how long this video is. Felt like maybe 30-40 minutes. So maybe 10 minutes a card. That's not bad. So we have a penguin, our flamingo, and our 2 styles of the snowman. Thank you so much for joining me.